Well, the Deva Bridge story started really when I was export publicity manager of H.S. Robertson and Ellesmere Port. I needed to make a film to show the products as they were. So I found this company in London called Worldwide Pictures that had a very good report, and I went down to see them and eventually appointed a chap called Peter Bradford, who was one of their senior producers, to make the film for us. And I got quite friendly with him. During the dinner, at the sweet course, he served up a yoghurt, which I said, "By Jove, this is nice." And Anne says, "Well, Peter actually doesn't like yoghurt." And I said, "Well, I really like this." Oh, he said, "It's Greek-style yoghurt." And his wife, Sylvia, said, "Peter made it." I said, "What? He made it? How did he do that?" So Peter said, "Well, finish yours off and we'll go to the kitchen and I'll show you," which he did. And he had an earthenware bowl with another bowl inside it, and between the earthenware bowl and the ordinary porcelain bowl, he'd packed straw. And he said, I said, "How does it work?" Well, he said, "It's a natural heat loss." He said, "You've got to start it with the yoghurt and it'll reproduce itself over a controlled temperature, just like they did in Greece." And he said they used to hang in bags in trees, and the natural ambient temperature made it work. But the temperature's got to be right, and I found out what the temperature was. You know, you could sell that. We chatted through the night and put 25 quid each on the table, which was a reasonable amount of money then, and we started it off. Now, obviously, with 50 quid, we weren't in a position where we could actually manufacture anything or do anything like that. And this is a really story of how marketing with publicity evolves. And we shopped around and found a jar, an insulated jar, which was sold as a picnic jar by a company called Insulax. So I went to see them, and it wasn't an enormous run actually, and we had to use their colours, which was blue. It wasn't very nice, but they did a special run for us, and by then we decided to call it Deva Bridge, after we wanted a sort of middle sounding name that sounded not a sort of a rip-off, and I think we bought about 200 of them and sold them quite quickly through little bargain squares in the mail. And all the money from then until the company was eventually sold, Probus Kitchencraft, was self-invested, because that's the only way we could do it. I was working full-time and so was Peter. And by then we were able to afford the stamp at the bottom that said Deva Bridge Yoghurt Maker. So we were progressing. That went on to a chance meeting with a designer in London called Bernard Sams, who was persuaded by Peter to design a purpose-made yoghurt maker, which is the model we've carried ever since, which won the approval of the Design Council eventually. But that actually has got all sorts of clever things built into it. It has a little container at the bottom for the milk saver, so it will pack in the box properly. It's got a very attractive designed box which really says "pick me up and buy me," and it also has a little trap at the top to collect the condensation, which inevitably happens and doesn't fall back into the yoghurt. All this is the sort of thing that won the approval of the Design Council. So that was the next progress, and then we were marching forward as we had a yoghurt maker in our own name, our own design, and we started selling it, appointing agents. A lot of people approached us actually and said they like it, could they sell it for us? Just in the UK at first, so we had 2 in the UK. But eventually we finished up with agents in throughout Europe and also America, buying and trade. And we also sold, of course, now direct to the shops like Holland and Barrett and speciality shops. Yes, our partnership, Peter and I, worked very well because Peter was a true boffin. He was an inventor, very creative man. I was a hands-on marketing, publicity man, and we made a lot of use of our joint skills, if you like, and it worked quite well. I appointed a PR lady who again happened to be a friend of a friend, and that helped a lot because she got us quite a lot of contacts in magazines, so we were able to get some very good publicity in Woman's Own, and even got onto Delia Smith's TV programme, and to this day we're still in a book called Frugal Foods, but I don't know, it's out of its publisher now, but we went to her house, my wife and I, and Peter, of course, when the BBC filmed it, and they filmed her making yoghurt with our yoghurt maker, and of course that didn't do our sales any harm at all. And we also got on Anglia TV with the same thing, but that's all marketing and PR, and it gradually rolls on and on. And that, when we got to that stage, Peter and I realised, well, look, we'd either got to go into this full time and find another product. Yes, we had the soft cheese maker, which I haven't mentioned too much about, but that was becoming popular as well, and we'd applied for a patent. And we're patent pended. We'd been accepted by the Design Council. We could put a little label on it. And we thought, well, we're going to have to do something about this, either pack our jobs up. Neither of us wanted to do that. So we decided to sell. And I started exploring the possibilities. We used to do trade exhibitions as well, which were great fun, and I used to use my holidays for that. So did Peter, and we exhibited at a speciality gourmet food shows throughout in Cologne and Belgium, and even in San Francisco, where we managed to appoint our American agent, and through that we managed to attract 1 or 2 companies who were interested in buying, and eventually Probus Kitchencraft made us an offer. Peter, by then, who was probably 10 years older than me in any case, had retired, but they wanted me because they needed some assistance in the first year. So apart from selling it to them, I got a contract with them for about 12 months to do the exhibitions for them, but I had to work it in with my job as well. But it worked, and we sold it. Not for a fortune, I might say, but it was good fun and interesting.